Hi you guys, it's the Satanic Witch here, and today I'm going to be filming an altar room tour. I've been really excited to kind of share my space with you guys on here ever since starting my channel, and today I'm actually going to do it. So yeah, without further ado, here's my space. Alright, so this is right outside my door. I've got a celestial chart hanging on it, and we walk in. A nice overview. As you can see, it's very warm in here. Not so much temperature-wise, but color-wise. Alright, we'll start on this side of the room and kind of go over. So we've got just a random little table here that has an assortment of fake plants, kind of random stuff, magazines, pen, sunglasses, some artwork that I've done. Got a full-length mirror here, and some of my favorite jewelry, my more magical jewelry, I guess. I've got a poster of a skull there, and then this is like a little bookcase altar. I've got the globe, a picture of me and my boyfriend, some candles. That's an ashtray right there that I use to keep, I don't know, kind of like special ashes if I burn any herbs. I'll keep them in there for later use. Random bottles. And on here, I keep all of my past grimoires. Any kind of magical notes are kind of up here. Then I have books and comic books, and then some magical stuff, just random notebooks, and then those are all my sketchbooks down at the bottom. And then in that back corner there, I've just got kind of unfinished painting projects. And then we move to my altar space. This is where I work most often. And we'll kind of just go from one side to the other over here. This is one of those box lantern things. I don't really keep anything in there at the moment. But on here, I've got a skull, some crystals and candles, bones, an abalone shell with really just an assortment of things. Some cinnamon to burn, which I don't actually burn anymore because I have a snake in here, so I can't really do any smoke-related cleansings. An agate clock from my boyfriend, more crystals, my cauldron. Selenite sphere, which is actually sitting on an amethyst cluster. A Himalayan salt lamp. Those leaves that you see are eucalyptus, and then they sit on a plate, and you can see back there my mortar and pestle. I've got my voodoo doll, a knife, a skull, and these are actually deer skulls, so that's a female like doe, and then over here is a deer. Down here, more candles. That's a thermometer. It looks like a sun. Like the moon. It's really beautiful. Oop, if I can grab it. Yeah, I actually found this at Goodwill. Thrift stores have the best stuff, you guys. Some witchy books, and candles, crystals. This is my current Book of Shadows with my Baphomet necklace on top. Some more books, jewelry, and then down here, it's pretty hard to see, it's kind of dark down here, but I just store all of my dry herbs. And there's some more crystals and magical things down there. And some Hello Santo, and then that bag is full of candles. I've got a bunch of pillows in the corner there. And then I always have this blanket sitting on the floor. Right above my altar, I have these little, I guess they're like crocheted or cross stitch, I think, little flowers that I hang up on my wall. I've got a beetle, my best friend gave that to me. A circular mirror that I actually got at Target for like $3. A brass pentagram, some sigils, a bee. This is a poster with a bunch of different kinds of mushrooms on it. And then right here, this is actually one of those like fuzzy things that kids color in, and I colored it in, and I just think it looks so cool. and it's kind of balanced with, you know, the warm and cool colors. All right, I'm gonna kind of zoom out again. And this is just my desk. This is like, I don't know, I don't really work here anymore. It's kind of just storage. And I wouldn't really consider, oh, hi. I wouldn't really consider this stuff on top an altar. It's more so just decoration. And then above I've got a print. This print is actually from an artist named Lee Ellickson, and she does have a YouTube channel, so you guys should totally check her out. My sister-in-law made this for me. Some bees. And then there's another one of those cool posters with moths over it this time. All right, so over here we have got my 7 lucky Buddhas. These each, or oh, 7. I say 7, but there's 5 here. I have 1 in my kitchen and 1 is in my car, so they're not all here. In this box, I store some bones, some more candles. These are just like random little bits and bobs, some wet specimens that I made. And there's a grasshopper. These are super easy to make. I might actually do a video on it one day. And then I kind of have like a little skull collection. So I've got this little guy here. This is a glass skull, and I'm a Sagittarius, so here's my symbol. In here, ooh, kind of hard to see right now, but it's a little bird head, wet specimen bird head. That's not the cutest angle, not the angle I'm looking for. It's really hard to see. But there's just a piece of malachite on here. And then an orange selenite sphere. Oh, and this mirror back here is the all-seeing eye. It's beautiful. I've got another skull. This guy's kind of geometric and black. He's plastic though. I got him in the Halloween section at Target. More bones down here. And then this is a ceramic skull. It's either ceramic or porcelain or something like that. But my sister actually bought it for me. It's Polish pottery, which is like amazing pottery, and it's an oil burner. So you're supposed to put a candle in there and burn oil up here, but I actually use it to store herbs. And I don't burn anything in it. Over here, you can have a better view of the bird head. This one is an African gray. I can't remember what the other one is. I'll try to insert pictures so you can actually see them. Over here, I've got a wet specimen. Ooh, it's not gonna focus though. I'll post pictures like in the video of these guys. But this is a tiny lizard skull and vertebrae. There, you can kind of see it a little better. But I've got that in a jar sealed. Down here, I just have some of my art stuff and some snacks from earlier, my coffee. I don't know, there's really nothing magical in this desk, and the rest is just craft supplies, important document type boring adult stuff. And I do have one drawer that I just keep candles and charcoal discs in a pickle jar, extra jars, and yeah, mostly just candles. The rest is just art supplies, so I'm not going to get into that. Here is more art supplies. I've got one of those art person carts, but they're so handy. And then over here is where it gets a little more exciting. Not so much today because he ate the other day, so he's still in his hide. But over here, I just keep all my reptile stuff. I keep a ball python, by the way. And these are not real candles. They're one of those fake flameless candles. So I keep them by him because I like to have candles everywhere, but I don't really want real candles near him. If we can get... He's hiding in there. And yeah, I keep a pretty heavy crystals on each corner. Selenite, amethyst, that's a pink Himalayan salt tea light holder, quartz, and then there's a protective sigil with a selenite heart on top. And this actually helps keep in humidity. It's a plastic covered canvas, and I kind of spray the bottom of it and then leave it on top, and it just kind of traps in more humidity for him. But I've also got Chicken's requirements. That's his name. His name is Chicken. And he's got a bunch of crystals down here. And yeah, I've got some artwork on the walls. I didn't really talk about what's over here. I did one of those acrylic pouring videos. This is the newspaper clipping from the day that I was born, or like the week that I was born. Got some childhood pictures of me. That's me when I was a baby. Ooh, chaos magic. This is actually a last podcast on the left quote. Turn your shame station into a celebration corner. Pleasures are pleasures. I love that. Past that table, there is not much. There's a big closet that we just used for random storage. Not gonna go in there. Another full-length mirror. And I am wearing pants, by the way. These are shorts. These are some bottles that I don't really have a use for yet, but I'm keeping because I love cool looking bottles. A heater that we use to help regulate the temperature in this room because of Chicken over there. Here's some artwork that I made, a pentagram and the triple goddess symbol. And yeah, then we're back at the door. So it's a little plain in that corner. But as you can see, this side of the room totally makes up for it. I'm super fortunate to have this space, and it's taken me a long time to compile all of the things that I have. So if you aren't able to have a space like this, don't feel bad. And I'm actually going to give you guys some tips on what you can do if you're still practicing at home and you're what I like to call a closet witch. Alright, you guys, to finish up this video, I wanted to add a little bit more closet witch tips in here. You know, things that you can do if you're still living at home and you want to be able to practice witchcraft, but you still have parents who might not really approve of that witchcraft practice. Something you can do is sprinkle salt and pepper in your room, around your altar space, or just at your altar space. If you can keep it in your room, that would be really easy because then you're not like running to the kitchen all the time. But honestly, just taking a sprinkle here and there, your parents won't notice that. And it's something you can do. Put your intention into your room and cleanse it. And nobody will suspect a thing. But if you might need to clean it up though. Another thing you can do is collect rocks. You can just start collecting them and admiring them, and nobody's gonna really think anything of it, just that you like rocks. And you can also paint them. And something that I would do when I lived at home and I wanted to put sigils on things is I would put the sigil on it, I would paint the sigil on the rock, and then I would paint over it with something else, like maybe a landscape scene or something. And that was kind of my way of making a magical piece, but kind of covering it up and hiding it and make it a little more inconspicuous because I was still living at home. And then another thing you can do is collect sticks. Pretty much anything that you find outside that's an organic material, you can collect and use it in your craft. You can build things with the sticks, you can build symbols, or really anything with the stick. Just make bundles, and you can make bundles of vines and flowers and make smudge sticks, and you can really do anything. I mean, collecting flowers too and just drying them out, sprinkling the petals over your altar, really anything with nature you can do. Another thing I suggest you do is make a either travel or pocket altar. It's basically just a box that you can put your magical items in and pack it away and hide it for nobody else to see. This is something that a lot of closet witches have to do because they're living at home and they can't freely express their practice. I'm going to put some examples of those on the screen now. I've seen people do these in Altoid tins, shoeboxes. I actually made my own. I'll show you guys a clip of that in a second. You can make them out of any kind of tiny box you have, whether you're gonna shove it in your purse or I don't know, shove it under your bed, hide it anywhere that you hide it. It does have to be pretty compact, pretty concealable, and there are definitely tons of magical tools that you can find at the dollar store, at the grocery store. They're definitely readily available. And yeah, so here's some examples. They should be flashing across the screen, and the credit will definitely be below them. There's some amazing witches on Instagram who share their creations, and I am ever grateful for them. Alright, you guys, here is a really small enclosed travel altar that I just put together really quickly, pretty much with things I just found when I was running around my room. You can use any kind of box. I do have a pretty box, but you can honestly use a shoe box, something bigger, something smaller. The idea is that this is something that you can tuck away in a drawer or under your bed, somewhere that nobody's going to find it. So inside, I'm gonna take everything out so you can actually see it. Not everybody will be able to have something like this, but I do recommend having a pocket knife in here. I treat mine like I would in a thame. It's covered in like leaves, or like leaves on one side and roses on the other. I don't know if you can really make it out. But it's a pretty crappy knife. So I use it more for energy working than actual cutting into things. Sometimes I'll try to use it to maybe cut a symbol into something, but it really doesn't work that well for that. Here I actually have like those plastic Mardi Gras beads, which totally work because they're gold. But if you have an actual gold chain that you have a strong connection to, that could work definitely. And it doesn't have to be gold, it can be silver, it can be any color. But I think having a chain like this, something you can hold in your hands or even wear after using, and it's not something that's gonna look really crazy, you know. It's not gonna be totally, you're a witch. All right, and here I just have a piece of star anise because I feel like this is something or similar to something that you could find just lying around your house. It smells really good. You can crush it up, you can burn it. I just keep mine in the box because it smells nice, and I also keep it sprinkled around my actual altar. Another thing is a piece of cinnamon. You can burn this, or again, just use it for the smell. This is something that some people can find in their kitchen, or at the very least, convince your parent to buy. In here, all right, so I've just got 2 candles, very simple, one black, one white. These are super cheap. You can find them on Amazon. And if you can't really, I don't know, there's fuzzies on it. If you can't buy something like candles on Amazon, or you're too questioned why, you can actually just buy birthday candles from the grocery store, and they are like $1, and you get a rainbow of colors. You might not get black in there, but you'll get a bunch of different colors. I also have tea light candles. You can use these in place of the longer candles or in addition to. I think they're really nice to have, and you can buy like 100 pack for, I don't know, $3 at Walmart. And you can totally buy things from places like Walmart and use them in your craft. Some people say that you can't, but you totally can, as long as you cleanse them and charge them the way you would really anything else. And of course you've got a lighter. I picked a mini lighter for this because this could fit anywhere, in an Altoid tin even. So these are really awesome. I've actually got some coins in here. You can use dollar bills, coins, foreign money. I've just got like 2 dimes and a penny. These you can use for magical purposes. You can charge them, you can use them in a money spell, and just make it kind of a lucky thing to keep with you. This I wanted to tell you guys about. It's a little like rubber creature. It's actually, this one is a moose. So you can use tiny things like this. I actually bought this at Michael's. You can use tiny things like this to represent like male deities. I couldn't really find one that I would use to represent a female deity, but this totally works for like a horned god or something. And then in here, not everybody's gonna have access to something like this. These are my oracle cards. I picked Thor and Freya just for the example. of something that you could have that would be a god and goddess representation. It doesn't have to be oracle cards, it doesn't have to be tarot cards. You can pretty much find an image online that you like. It doesn't even have to be an actual god and goddess. It could just be a masculine image and a feminine image. And then you can print them out and have them in your box, and that would, you know, represent what you need it to represent. And then if you want to set this up as an actual altar, I mean, it can be, going out of frame here, it can be kind of tricky to fit everything on here the way, you know, in a way that might be comfortable or pleasing. And you definitely don't have to use the box as your altar. Put that right in here. You know, and if you have something to hold these, you can have one on each side. Have this burning. Just some coins in the middle. You get your star anise in the middle. And you could either like wear this or put it over your altar. Ooh, now we're getting crazy. But yeah, and you could set this up on like a windowsill or outside or anything. Travel altars are super, it's a chance for you to be creative. It's really do it yourself, but also make it entirely your own. And then look, you can pack it up and there's no witchcraft happening. All right, I'm downstairs now with much better lighting, but I just wanted to do a really quick outro of this video. I had a lot of fun sharing my space with you guys, and I had a lot of fun sharing some cool beginner witch ideas, closet witch ideas, and I really want to make a video about this in the future. So if you have any ideas on tiny altars or just ways that you can practice magic inconspicuously, please let me know. I would love to share it. You know, compile a bunch of ideas and then make a full-on video about how to be a beginner / closet witch. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and I cannot wait to see you next time.